If you're seeing this, it means you survived. We made it. We're almost at the end. Episode 8, The Last of Us. Chris, what do your notes say?
It's the penultimate episode. Actually, I didn't take that many notes. This is a very weird episode.
Part of the poster.
But so in this episode we get Joel and Ellie. She's trying to save him still, trying to do whatever she can to keep him alive. And after she doesn't change his pressure dressing or wound with something clean, it gets infected. And then she decides to go hunting, which I was cool with, even though she messed up shooting a rabbit, which is like the easiest thing in the world to do. Lived on a horse farm. We hunted them all the time. And then she shoots a deer perfectly. She chases the deer, and then we end up meeting the...
She doesn't chase it, she tracks it.
She tracks it, chases it, whatever.
Deers have a larger center of mass.
I just hit him in a certain spot, but she ends up meeting...
She didn't hit it clean that she had to track it. So, I mean, she hit it somewhere in the gut, not the heart. Because if you hit it in the heart, it stops.
We'll get there. Let's get through the recap. I'm trying to remember this. This is weird.
You guys gonna argue about stuff again?
Always. But she ends up meeting the religious leader. Cult. He's a cult leader. But she ends up meeting him and his second in command after they find the deer dead. Dude goes back to get some meds. The leader and Ellie talk. He lets her go when the guy gets back with a gun and the meds. She ends up saving Joel with penicillin rather quickly, but whatever. She goes back out to give the horse water, notices they're coming. She then takes a knife to Joel, tells him to protect himself, and then takes... I didn't like this, but we could talk about this later. She took the horse to chase the guys, or to kind of get the guys to chase her off.
Well, first she blocked the door with the bookshelf.
Whatever. But she went to go get the guys away from Joel to save his life, and they end up catching her after shooting the deer and
the horse.
Whatever. The thing with legs and a head. And the horse, and then the leader takes her back very creepily to their village compound, which we could talk about, but I don't understand this cult, but they're cannibals, kind of, sort of, in a way. At least some people know, some people don't. But Joel ends up showing us who Joel is and absolutely wrecks like 6 dudes. And while this is happening, the leader of the cult is trying to talk Ellie into joining by seducing her. And it
wasn't very seductive.
I know, but she wasn't falling for it, but
he was trying
to
get Ellie to be his lover. Which, again, the stuff with the kids, I mean, I know the actress is older, but like in the show, she's a 14-year-old girl, man.
Right.
Come on.
But this guy doesn't care, because you can tell very early on that
he's creepy.
Yeah, he was kind of hitting on that girl early on with the very, very beginning of the show when he was talking about reading out of the Bible and stuff.
I mean, he's a priest. He got the age right, but the gender wrong.
Oh, he's also a teacher. He's also a teacher too. So, but
he also doesn't believe in that God.
Yeah, but then things happen. Ellie ends up killing a dude by hitting him in the neck with a meat cleaver, and then ends up killing the preacher by doing the same thing, which was actually pretty... I thought it was pretty cool, but...
Not the same thing at all.
She went ham on him, but it was with the meat cleaver.
She cleaved his head in like, woo, boy,
probably cut it off, but
bro.
then you see the moment where they actually the bond is like solidified between Joel and Ellie.
Yeah, using my word.
That was kind of the episode. It was just weird. I didn't take a lot of notes.
If you played the game, especially when they got the building burning, that was pretty spot on.
Oh, so this actually happens in the game?
Yeah, but in the game, does do you use the cleaver to bash his head in, or does Joel just shoot him in the game?
Can't remember.
Or does Ellie shoot him? I can't remember. Or is he left injured and he burns in the building? So something crazy happens in the game as well. But pretty much for the most part, I mean, that episode was pretty on track with the storyline from the game. It was good. And I mean, besides, the disturbing nature of, freaking man your age trying to talk to a 14-year-old little girl. And
that dude had to be older than me. He had to be older than me.
The damn near sexual assault on a 14-year-old girl. It was like, storyline and, production wise, it was definitely a good episode. Much better than the last one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
David is killed by Ellie, who hacks him to death with a cleaver after he tries to rape her in the game.
In the game, okay, yeah.
They go pretty close. Yeah, I thought it was an alright episode. I get it. They're following the game pretty close. It was so weird watching her make mistakes like that. Because literally just the episode before, they're telling us how smart she is, and then she literally tries talking to two guys, one who has a gun, and then the other who she lets go to their base, which is close by, and it's like, just walk away and find a different animal. Like, I get you're trying to get something to feed you and Joel, but like, I think she's smart enough to realize that she can't take two grown men on, even with a gun in surprise. It bothered me from like a character standpoint.
I mean, I get your complaint.
Yeah,
they had something she needed.
I know this is me just looking at it from the TV and not from the game perspective, but like,
yeah, no, I get your complaint. I mean, can't necessarily say I agree or disagree. I makes sense where you're coming from, but in the show or in the episode, it's kind of important how not those two characters, but how that group of people ties in with Joel and Ellie. Remember, Joel killed dude.
Yeah.
And
that was just sheer luck that they happened to run into her.
Yeah.
What do they call that? The red herring? Something like that?
I don't read, so I don't know.
Yeah, there were a few things that took me out of this episode just because I feel like Ellie should be smarter than the decision she was making in the show.
Ellie was trying to be Joel while Joel was incapacitated.
Yeah, and I will also say that she felt pressured. Like, I'm not even entirely sure how long she was taking care of Joel for. How long is that time supposed to be?
I don't remember, but she was smart because whenever she realized what was going on, she gave Joel a weapon and she said, "I'm going to take them away from here." So it basically gave Joel the chance, one, to defend himself, and two, to come look for her. She had complete faith that Joel would do what he had to do.
She had too much faith. There was no guarantee. First off, she just stabbed that penicillin right in there. Like,
well, she don't know shit.
There's no guarantee that was gonna work.
I mean, you're not supposed to stab it into the wound, but yeah,
that was gross. But
I got it. Too many needles. I mean,
she did that, and then secondly, how well nourished is Joel at this point? Like, he's been pretty much in a coma. He's not eating much. He's not drinking much. bro, how can you trust his body to just get up and, go to town
because
like he
he's
did?
destroyer of worlds.
I think it was like a day, maybe pushing 2.
I mean,
I know they don't put a timestamp on it, but
yeah.
It doesn't seem like it was like he was down for a week. It felt like maybe a day or 2.
She had no food with her. She said she didn't have any.
Well, they had supplies from the town, from Tommy's town.
Yeah, but in the start of the episode, did she not run out of food?
I don't know if she ran out of food. She just went hunting. I just kind of assumed she was going hunting to feed them, but she should have had supplies left over from Tommy, unless it was 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure how long it was, but she did block the doorway to the basement when she left, so that kind of gives Joel a longer time for the penicillin to actually take care of the infection and hopefully work. But
that quick.
Well, I mean, yeah,
it's gonna take penicillin a couple days to get that out of you, but whatever. It's a show. We'll run with it.
Armor.
Joel's not built the same. He's very different.
Yeah,
he's built different.
He is a wrecker, man. Dude, when he got up and stabbed dude in the neck, in the
bro,
I was like, wow,
yo, that was crazy. And then the 2 dudes he was interrogating, he's like, well, you better point to the same spot that he points to. And then he kills dude before he even lets the other dude point, bro.
Here we go. Oh.
Leave him alone. Oh.
Dude, this is just perfect.
Please.
Leave him alone.
I don't know any girl. Oh!
Ooh! Bro!
Marco.
He
can't help you. You focus right here, or I'll pop your fucking kneecap off.
Fucking love that. He can't help you. Focus right here.
Bro, imagine getting a kneecap popped off, bro. That's crazy.
Mine slides out of place enough. I couldn't even imagine it coming out with a knife.
Bro, like imagine someone just went
like
boom and then just wedged it out and then the kneecap flips a few times and falls on the ground.
Dude,
that would be disgusting.
Where he hit, that's going through
all your ligaments.
Tendons, ligaments. That's going through bone.
Bro. ACL, PCL, MCL.
Yeah, that dude ain't walking ever again. Well, I mean, he ain't breathing ever again right after that scene, but yeah.
If he were, yeah, that would be a tough hike back.
Yeah, I thought that was a good scene. This is probably more of a nitpick than anything. I was also annoyed. I was annoyed that she took the horse because she probably could have outsmarted him being little and went places they couldn't have. But like, I felt like she went this way with the horse, like after she yelled at the guys, and then somehow she ended up on a street where the guy with literally like full winter gear and a weapon jumps over a fence and shoots the horse. I was like, that makes.
I mean, they were out there with a scout team and everything. So.
It was but they were over here, and she went like this way, and he went this way, and somehow she. I get it. They had to do it for the show, but I was like, they couldn't have found a better way to capture her. It had to be
where she was going.
He's like a fucking Jedi or something. Like, pick the perfect
way. They're familiar with the area, clearly, because that's where they went hunting close by. So they're familiar with the area.
Yeah, she was on a horse. You ever been on a horse?
Yeah, it's fun.
They move. That's why they go fast.
That's why he took the way to try to cut it off.
Look, I know what you're saying, but it felt like, just from perspective of the show, like they were here, and she went this way, and he went this way. That doesn't. Like, I'm coming towards my face, and she's going this way.
They don't show you the exact pass they take, because what if she went like woo and like took this long ass loop around, and all he did was just boop, and now he already has direct line of sight.
Well, then they need to show for people like me, because I look at that and those angles don't match up.
See, that's the problem with overanalyzing a show.
That's not overanalyzing. She went this way.
That's overanalyzing. See, whenever I watch that, my brain just went, okay, that guy ran through somewhere to cut off the route that she was taking because he knows the town. You're going, this doesn't add up.
It doesn't.
I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh, damn, she got caught.
I think it was this one. I don't know how far I clipped, but
Stay alert. If this man's not already dead, he's dangerous. About the girl.
yeah, you four
We bring her back with us.
are dead. D-E-D dead.
I don't mean to question your sense of mercy, David. We can let her go.
Done, son.
We bring that girl back with us. She's just another mouth to feed.
I didn't go that far.
He does bring up a good point.
Yeah, he does. They're already struggling to feed their people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
But,
shouldn't suck David off so much. Maybe you have better ideas.
Mr. Priest had other ideas for Ellie, so.
I'm not gonna lie, this guy right here that's on the screen, probably a more capable leader than.
That's the guy that voices Joel in the game.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, is that guy? See, I saw online that he's in the episode. I just didn't know which character he played.
It's him.
Nice.
Good little Easter egg. I know we already talked about this, but
What do you think?
run away, Ellie.
I don't see anybody. You think we can just take it?
I can
I would
hear
have
it now.
shot one of them.
Quickly, whoever shot it's probably nearby.
So wait, he voices Joel in the game and then gets killed by Ellie in this. That's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
But when the Pittsburgh QZ fell in 17,
I had to put that in there for you.
Hey.
I left with a few others, and that's how I ended up with our flock.
A long way from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we'd settle somewhere, and then raiders would come, so we'd move again. And as we wandered, we picked up new people along the way until we ended up here.
Come here, my child. Let me fondle you.
I just want to know why they thought it was a good idea to settle in a resort town in the
He
mountains.
has that creepy voice.
He does. His face is kind of creepy too, I'm not going to lie, but
Yeah, definitely somebody's face that you see on a poster for pedophilia.
I don't think we're allowed to say that whole word.
Child lovers.
Hello. So all that kind of led, I thought, to this point.
And we do whatever we needed for our people.
Here's the creep.
She's a
Imagine
savage.
the life
she
we
breaks his
lived.
finger, right?
Yeah. I literally thought she was going to bite it off when I was watching it.
Imagine the life we could build.
Bro.
Dude, she played you like a fiddle.
She should have just stabbed him in the man piece a billion times.
Bro. Oh, you didn't get the whole clip?
No.
Look at her face. She's like, "Argh!" She's about to Hulk out on him.
That's why I thought she was going to bite him. And then that leads to stabbing in the neck and kind of hatching,
Yeah, kind of the end of this episode.
cutting him to death. And like Joe pointed out, this is the most important part of the show.
Extremely important.
Look, it's me. It's me. It's okay.
But I...
It's okay. It's okay, baby girl. I got you.
It's because that's what he says to Sarah.
Yep.
It's deep. But at this point, I mean, we know what's coming, but it's very apparent that Joel and Ellie have that father-daughter relationship now.
Yeah, that they actually care for each other.
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't played the second game, a lot changes.
Oh, I gotta play the second game, I guess.
A lot changes. But that is covered in the next episode, as though where the pivotal point is that a lot changes.
Well, I was under the assumption that, you know, moving forward after the end of that season finale, things start coming to light slowly, and Ellie probably has
Yeah.
opinions about it.
Yeah. Some very
But
strong ones.
sticking to this episode, though, I mean, this scene is pretty important to the show as a whole, I would say, and like the characters as a whole.
Yeah, this is that moment where it's solidified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do kind of. I've been thinking a lot about what Ahmed said last week about making this season slightly longer. I think you could have built up more to this point.
Yeah.
You have that huge 3-month time jump in episode 6, and you don't explain how they got from basically Ohio to St. Louis. They just drove, and you don't show anything. It just happened so quick. Even if it was like you had all these episodes, but they added like 4 more that showed a little bit that happened in each of those like time jumps.
See, that's where I disagree. I think they did a perfect job with a limited amount of episodes, limited amount of time. I feel like they hit on a lot of things that were extremely important.
No.
Well, the other thing is they besides the Bill and Frank episode, they kind of stuck true to the game with a lot of the story and a lot of the scenes as well.
No,
In the game, a lot of those places are just filler and nothing happens.
But what I think they could have kind of been more creative with it and created more to the story.
yeah, just made it deeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree. They hit on necessary points in basically the 7 episodes minus the 2 flashbacks. But it just, I feel like they could have somehow got 4 more episodes and made the story deeper between those two.
I mean, 4, 3, even 2 more episodes. I just think
maybe HBO said all you got is 9. Make it work.
I mean that's HBO. It pisses me off because every good show they limit them. Look what they did with Game of Thrones.
Well, that's why I'm not going to fault the show, because it could have been on HBO's end that this is all they got.
Yeah, but I mean,
we could still
say criticism or critique or whatever, because we're not
blaming the showrunners. I'm blaming HBO. They could have made this a little longer. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but good.
It's a masterpiece. It's because you haven't played the game, so you don't have that correlation from game into the show to see just how well this was done.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah. Oh no. Comparatively to that, yeah. I mean, it's done really well, but I think there could have been more creative add-ons to make it more like TV friendly. Because the game, it's a video game. People play games on their own time, so they're not gonna like make it a super long, like drawn out thing. Because you just want to get right into the bulk of the story when you're playing a video game.
It took creative liberties. I mean, look at the Bill and Frank episode. Look at
which you didn't like.
The chick that was chasing Dan. Yeah, I just feel like they could have did it a little differently. Then you have the chick that got added to add to the story of Sam and all that, because she doesn't exist.
So I'll say
that whole bloater infected attack that happens. That part was happen.
That part was
that was lit.
But what I mean to say is just like developing the storyline, not just for diversity inclusion purposes.
That was one episode.
Yeah,
that was a long episode.
All right, let's save some of this talk for like a season end review. We're coming up on 25 minutes, and my internet's not going to be able to download it fast.
All right, this episode gets it's a 9 for me.
The 9 for you?
Yeah, it's a 9.
I'd be around the 8 to 8.5, maybe an 8.3. Let's go with 8.3. I like the episode.
I think
I'll say Well, what do you say? What do you give it?
I was gonna say, I think mainly because I don't have the backstory you guys do. I liked the Joel stuff, a little bit of the Ellie stuff. The weird creepy cult kind of put me off. But, I mean, it was like
I'll never get sick of his face getting freaking destroyed.
Yeah.
They should have showed it.
They don't really show it, but I know what you mean. But
they should have showed it.
I'm probably middle, like a 5.
What?
I'm logging off.
Bro, you're fried. I only went 8.3 because I'm like, there was parts of it where I'm just like, you know, it could have been done maybe a little bit better, but story-wise, like it was spot on with the game, and I really liked it.
I don't got the game though. That's what I'm saying. I don't have the game
like a
background.
personal problem.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe when I watch the game, I'll go back to it and be like, this was a better episode. But
this whole final scene with the cabin and like lighting it on fire, all that stuff, like that was done really well. It was great. What would you call it? Cinema. Great theatrics. Yeah, theatrics.
Yeah, that good bits. I was put off by that.
And then the next episode, season
Joel's
finale,
torture scene, that was awesome.
Yeah, so I said I like the Joel stuff. I want to see more of that.
There's actually not a lot of that in the game. You don't get to torture people all like that in the game.
Yeah, but you get to make nail bombs and Molotov cocktails and set things on fire and all that good stuff.
You just fight a lot more raiders and infected.
Yeah.
Yep, and another episode without infected.
Yeah, but
nobody's scared of them anymore.
This part was or this episode was like with the game. This part of the game didn't have many infected either.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I did want to add though. We didn't have the clip in here, but the scene when they were eating the stew or what they thought was stew.
Whenever he says venison.
Yeah.
It's not venison.
You know what that reminded me of? You guys ever watched the 100?
No.
You never watched the 100?
Good show.
Well,
at least season 1.
Nah, the whole show was solid. I loved it.
It got weird in like 3. We can talk about that. Hold on.
Yeah, but in the 100, there's a point in the show where like, what's her name? Octavia. She's like the leader of the people, whatever, and she's like a super. I don't even know what word to use. She's crazy.
She's crazy.
She used to make people fight, like people that were charged with crimes or something that went against the law or whatever. They would have to fight to the death in like pretty much an octagon, and then the person that got killed got ate. They used to cut them up and serve.
Great idea.
Because they ran out of food, so that's how they fed the people.
I fuck with it.
Ate a criminal. Yeah. It just reminded me of that for some reason.
There's got to be a dog there.
Huh?
A what?
I said there.
It's a pillow. I'm playing.
All right. We'll wrap it up here. 30 minutes of discussion and disagreement. If you guys like what you saw, feel free to share, like, subscribe, comment below. Find us on Discord. Until episode 9. Bye-bye.
Peace.